Hello, fellow novice traders. This is Novice Trader Cindy with InvestorsHelp.net. Recently, I posed a question on our Facebook page, which is InvestorsHelp.net, to ask people if they wanted to get the general temperature of the market. Did they have any idea what stock or indice that they would look at? And the response was no. So I thought that was a great opportunity to make a short video explaining how you can find out the overall direction and temperature of the market by looking at a particular indice. So the answer to this question is you could take a look at S&P 500. S&P 500 stands for Standard & Poor's 500. It is the top 500 stocks that are most widely traded in the United States. And these 500 stocks actually represent 80% of the total value of the U.S. stock market. If you wanted to take a look and see what the 500 companies are that are in the S&P 500, you can do that by simply using Yahoo. You go over to Yahoo and then you'll go to Finance and then you will put in the symbol. And we are going to look at the S&P 500 ETF, and that symbol is SPY, SPY. And that will come up here. And scroll down and you want to look at holdings. And then you can go through the holdings. It will actually, you can go through and actually look at each individual company as well, but for right now what I'm just showing you is a breakdown of the sectors. So as you can see right now, the S&P 500 is the heaviest represented in technology. So that would be Apple and Google are a couple of examples that are in the S&P 500. Okay, so that is how you can look up what is in the S&P 500. Now let's actually take a look at the chart for SPY, which again is the ETF for the S&P 500. I have this on a weekly chart. So each one of these bars that you see here represents the price action for the S&P during that week. So each bar represents 1 week. So as you can see, we're looking all the way back here to February of 2014. The reason I started out with a weekly is so that you can take a look at the pattern of the S&P 500 and how strong it has been until August. What year was this? August of 2015, and it did come down quite a bit. And this is below all our moving averages, which I will explain in another video. So it came back up here around March of last year, I believe, yes. And it has really been making nice moves up since. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how the S&P has been moving on a weekly chart. So let's now drill down and take a look at a daily chart. And we will zoom in to, let's say, the 1st of January of this year. So taking a look at the daily chart, each one of these bars now represents 1 day. So this is a 1-day bar. As you can see, in the last number of weeks, we have experienced, I think it began around early January, new all-time highs in the S&P 500. And we continued to experience that for a number of weeks. We had some price consolidation, but then excuse me, a number of days, but then we have another new all-time high as of yesterday, February 21st. So what does all this tell you about the S&P? It gives you the overall market tone, because remember, 80% of the stocks that are traded are represented in the S&P 500. So if you want an idea of whether or not the market is moving up or down on a particular day, you would want to take a look at the S&P 500. How does that help you? You may wonder, is if you are considering getting into a stock, you want to know the overall market trend, because you don't want to buy into a stock um, and the market trend be going down. Then there's a good possibility that that stock will follow the overall market trend and will also trend down. So that's very short and quick explanation of how you can get the general market tone or the temperature of the market on any given day or week, as we looked at. And I hope you found this information helpful and useful. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a message below the YouTube video or on our Facebook page, which is again investorshelp.net. Thanks so much and happy returns.